These are 15 rappers with real gang ties. Julio Foolio. Not many rappers have lived a life the way Julio did. After years of violence, the street war between ATK and KTA shaped his entire career after he blew up with When I See You. Friends dead, rivals dead, and eventually Julio dead because of his ties to 6 Block. NBA YoungBoy. His Baton Rouge upbringing wasn't just an image. YoungBoy grew up around 4KT and BBG, both with loads of real-life street beef. Multiple shootings, house raids, arrests, and entire crews beefing with each other. YB's credit goes far beyond song lyrics. Lil Durk. With a background straight from the Chicago trenches, Durk has deep ties to the OTF and the BD movement. He survived street wars, raids, and even losing close friends before and after his fame because of gang violence. He's currently doing jail time because of a retaliation hit. Pooh Shiesty. He blew up during the pandemic era of hip-hop with songs about gang violence, and Pooh showed that wasn't just for show after he went to jail for pleading guilty to conspiring to possess firearms in furtherance of crimes of violence and drug trafficking. He's tied to Chopper Gang. Yungeen Ace. Living in an urban war zone, Yungeen Ace is a major part of the ATK versus KTA conflict in Jacksonville. His brother and multiple of his friends died in an infamous quadruple shooting. Ace personally has survived several attempts on his life and stays active. Kodak Black. Growing up in Pompano Beach, Florida's Golden Acres projects, Kodak was surrounded by multiple street crews. Shootouts, assault, and robberies were all regular. With more than 9 mugshots, Kodak himself also has his own fair share of crime under his belt and ran alongside multiple crews. Young Thug. For years, the police thought Thugger's YSL crew was just a label, but in reality, it was one of the most dangerous gangs in Atlanta. Prosecutors linked it to Bloods across the city. Years of indictments, shootings, witness intimidation accusations, and a RICO case proved YSL's street presence was very real. Bobby Shmurda. The lyrics to Igga weren't just entertainment, they were self-snitching. The GS9 were already under investigation before Bobby blew up, but then the police used lyrics of his songs to tie Bobby's crew to real gang activity. Crips in a city full of Bloods, Bobby was connected to shootings and drug operations. Quando Rondo. With real ties to the rolling 60s Crips, Quando has always been one of the realest in hip-hop. His beef with various sets turned deadly when King Von was killed outside an Atlanta club during a fight with his crew. Even after that, he's never afraid to rep his set. Casanova. Not only was Casanova tied to the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation, but he was one of its leaders. The feds tied him to racketeering, shootings, and a national drug operation. When a RICO hit GSN, Casanova publicly left the gang to try and get less time, but got jumped instead. King Von. One of the most deadly rappers in the game. It's rumored that when Von was alive, he had more than 10 bodies, and they all go back to his gang ties. Von grew up with a BD father, so naturally he joined the gang himself as a teenager and became its deadliest shooter. Polo G. Before the fame, Polo grew up in Chicago and was associated with the almighty Vice Lord Nation. Multiple arrests, shootouts, and losing multiple friends shaped the storytelling that he does in his music. Even as a mainstream artist, he moves with extra security because of his ties. YG. With long-standing ties to the Treetop Pyru Bloods, YG has never tried to hide his ties or his loyalty to the Bloods as a whole. Other rappers fear him, and he's been arrested for both robbery and assault tied to his gang.